So I don't know what happened. Facebook cut the live off. But for everybody who was or was not watching, I'm speaking with someone who basically has been incarcerated for 16 years, 35-year-old male. States that never been in trouble as a child, never had any issues basically growing up, never had any interaction with the police, no criminal history at all, got into an altercation, and then basically had a shootout, and from that in turn end up in jail. He ended up doing a drive-by shooting. From that got a life sentence, 39 years to life on his first offense. This shootout had no victims, no one was shot, no one was hurt, but because of, I guess, the amount of people in the car, he was given a life sentence, so 39 years to life. All right, so I'll go ahead and let you continue. I just wanted to do like a reintroduction because the video had went off. Hi, family.
Okay, so yeah, that was accurate. Where we left off was saying how being in here, one of the difficult challenges of accepting that type of term for a crime that I didn't feel was necessary. I felt like, okay, you know, life was not the solution because there was no room for growth. They just immediately took my life at a tender age of 18. So I was like, with that in mind, growing up in this prison system, one of the hardest things that I had to accept was that the actual crime. Because,
like, are you saying the crime? You're saying you have to accept that fact that you committed the crime?
No, accept the fact that, well, the crime is done and I'm sentenced for it, but to accept the time that came behind it.
You're saying to accept your sentence was the hardest part. Okay.
Right. Because, you know, once they got you and once they find you guilty, you got the appeal process that they offer you. But if you ever looked into the odds of actually winning the appeal, they're almost slim to none.
Correct.
So at that point, your reality has become solidified. It's just you're waiting on the help and you're praying on it. So one of the hardest challenges I had then was like just learning new people's cases, like coming to encounters with dudes that, you know, have similar fates as mine, and realizing that their case was like in the same category as mine, but someone actually got injured. Someone actually got hurt. Someone is actually traumatized.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's what we were saying. It's just, you know, it's bad how our justice system works, because in your situation, no one was hurt. So you end up getting a life sentence, 39 years to life. No one was shot, no one was hurt. But in the same turn, as you're going through your life sentence, you're meeting people who actually shot, killed, or hurt someone, and they going home.
Right.
So Mimi said, what did she miss? Hi, cousin. She said, what did she miss? So I'm speaking with someone who, an offender, 35 years old. He didn't have any juvenile record, had never been in trouble, never been to jail at 18 years old, correct?
Yes.
18 years old. He got into an altercation where there ended up being a shootout. He shot, hi brother. He shot, he had basically a shootout, him and some other young men. No one was shot, no one was hurt. A bullet did hit the vehicle that he was shooting at, but no one was injured. For this incident, he ended up getting 39 years to life. So that's where we're at right now. He's kind of speaking about how he was affected by his incarcerated life and how he had to adjust to understanding that he had a life sentence. You can go ahead.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that was like one of the challenges that I had to accept mentally in order to like be able to get past it, you know, because if you put yourself in my shoes and you really think about it, like you're in prison for this crime, which is wrong, you deserve some time or whatever the case may be. It's just life wasn't the solution for this situation, because a second chance would have probably created a different man. but you're in prison for this crime, and the immediate people who that's done a lot of things that worse than that, but they're getting out. You never come home. You never come home. So these people sentenced you to life is life.
Right.
Especially during these years. These are the early 2000s. So this is a whole different generation that we're talking about now. This is when the first person I met in prison, OG, I asked him how much time he had. He told me he had 7 years to life. So I'm 21 years old at this time, and I'm trying to understand what my sentence means. He said he had 7 years to life. So I'm like, damn. Okay, well, how long you been down? He said, I've been down 35 years. I said, so you did 7 years to life 5 times, man. Like,
so you didn't understand, basically what you're saying is you did not understand that when you got sentenced to 39 years to life, you're thinking basically that you're going to do the 39 years and be able to go home?
I don't even think that was processing, but logically that's what I had to accept, which, you know.
So when this man that you were talking to explained to you that he had 7 years to life, but that he had actually been there for 30 something years, how?
That's when I knew that life meant life. Because this man was supposed to be considered for release. If he'd been down 35 years, or however long he was down, and he had 7 years to life, he was supposed to be considered for freedom on that 7th year. And they took him to board. Everything played out in the process. They always make it look good on paper. They then allowed you to come into this little room and plead your case. But the reality of determination, your fate was already determined before you stepped in there. So they did that to that man, what, 4 or 5 times?
Right.
Before the law changed and gave him different relief.
So everybody's not aware of, you know, the youth offender bill. So there's a Senate bill that passed, and it's called the youth offender bill.
Right.
Do you want to
261.
Explain what it is?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a new law that passed, and called Senate Bill 261. So if you know anybody that's incarcerated that fits this criteria, it's going to affect them as well. But law has passed recently, 2016, 17, I believe that. If you caught your crime, the case that you go to jail for, if you caught that case and you was under the age of 26 years old, then regardless of the time, it was life in prison, then you go to a special board date that cuts your time in half. It's a criteria that you have to meet. And then they're supposed to, the board date that you go to is supposed to be a special board date, not the board date that a regular person that has a life sentence that would be going to. It's supposed to be a board date that understands that people that was under the age of 25, 26 years old wasn't thinking as a mature adult, rather was still youthful thinking. So their brain didn't fully developed. So they are. So
what you're saying is the law basically is going back to anyone who committed their crimes younger than the age of 26, because they're saying that before the age of 26, you're not fully mentally developed, and as you've been in prison for a certain amount of time, you could have grown to change, so they're willing to give you another chance, essentially, right?
Yeah, precisely, and it affects so many people behind these walls. A lot of people are being offered release to go home, including me, off that alone.
So, God is good. I'm gonna just say that, because even though our system does have many flaws, they are working on it, and Senate Bill 261 is bringing a lot of young men and women home. So this man at 18 years old had this, you know, he committed this crime. No victims, no anything, no nothing like that. No one hurt, but he received a life sentence. And because of Senate Bill 261, correct? Because of Senate Bill 261, the youth offender bill, he now has an opportunity to come home. So, and how long have you been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated for 16 going on 17 years. So that Senate Bill 261, just to put in perspective how it affected me, now I go to an early parole in the year 2022, which I'll be eligible for release.
So
in
2 years versus you having to make it to that 39th year, you will now be
2042.
Ooh, 2042, Lord.
Right, original release date, but the Senate Bill 261 law made it 2022. It shaved off 20 years.
All right, I just want to go through and read some of these comments because there's been a lot of comments the whole time we've been talking. So
Okay.
I just want to go through and read some of them. Mimi Moore says she's so sorry. It's my cousin. She says she's so sorry to hear that your situation is crazy and she couldn't imagine. Dallas Jones, that's brother. He said, yes, do you believe in giving second chances? And I think that pertains to something we were saying at the time. It said, never give up on your fight. I'm so mad the system really swallowing our men. She also said that the interview was making her mad, that she wish she would have studied law instead of health because she went to school for medical.
Amen to her. Amen to her.
And she's saying that does SB 261 only work for life sentences, or is that for all youth offenders?
Interesting question. Is for all youth offenders. The ones that don't have life sentences, then they are, after doing 15 years incarcerated, no matter how much time they have, they can have 100 years. After doing 15 years, the parole board has to consider it for early release. So.
And Dallas says you can't have violent crimes. I think that's what you're trying to say, is that the crime can't be violent.
Well, on Senate Bill 261, that criteria doesn't matter about the element of the crime unless it's a death penalty case. The only way to get disqualified is if you have life in prison without the possibility of parole. Okay, so
LWOPs don't qualify for, LWOP is life without possibility of parole. They don't qualify for SB 261.
Neither does the inmates, of course, and neither does anyone who caught the case after the age of 26 years old. So if you was 27 when you caught the case, this bill wouldn't fit you. So if they give you 100 years of life, you're doing 100 years of life.
Unless another bill will help you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So anybody who knows people that are incarcerated, there are tons of bills coming out, and this interview is definitely just important just because you can clearly see that this young man would not have had the opportunity to go home until 2042, and that just would have been the opportunity. That is not a guarantee. That is not he just went up to board, and then they would have had the decision to say, we think you can go home, or we don't think you can go home. And how old would you have been at that point?
I would have been. Crazy thing about it is I don't know. I never thought about it because I knew I wasn't going to do that much time.
Amen to that. He would have been older than what he should be coming home. So this Senate Bill 261, the Youth Offender Bill, is now affording him the opportunity to go up in front of board in just 2 short years, and he most likely will come home, because even though he got dealt the bad hand of getting life, 39 years to life at 18 years old for a crime where no one was injured, where no one was hurt, he chose to still do positive things while incarcerated. So, with all luck on his side, and from what CDCR says, he would qualify to come home in 2 short years.
Right. Prison, one thing I'm grateful of, prison is a very dark place, so it's easy to get lost in here. I've on my journey of being incarcerated, I spent all of my time on maximum security prisons. I never got the chance to visit a minimum facility. So it's easy to get lost in this type of world and make choices that add on to that time that you're sentenced to. Because I know guys who came here with 6 months and walked away with 2 life sentences, never coming home on choices that they made while incarcerated. So I'm just grateful that I dodged all those types of unfortunate.
Speak up a little bit.
I said I'm just glad I dodged all those unfortunate situations to where I'll be able to, get the relief that these bills pass. And one thing I will say, PORSHE, is recently the victims on my case reached out and signed paperwork trying to show the parole board and the court system that even they agree that the time that I was sentenced to pertaining to this case was too long. And they're the actual people that was in the vehicle that was fleeing, that life was in jeopardy when these bullets came their way. So I'm grateful for their understanding and forgiveness. That means a lot to me because I just spent 16 years of my life, you know, living this nightmare. So for them to reach out to me and have that type of forgiveness, I'm grateful for that, because now it's showing the courts like, not only did I know y'all did me wrong, even the people who, you know.
It just gives you a better opportunity when you go up for board to not only be able to show your paperwork, like all the classes and things that you've done, that you've committed yourself to in order to be released, but then also that the victims are also supporting your release. So that is definitely great on your side. In ending this, is there anything that you want to say in general?
Right, I would just say support PORSHE. Like, what she's doing is awesome. Like, we don't ever get to have these type of encounters where you get the raw and uncut details of one's life like mine. Like, I never thought that my story would actually reach anybody. So this platform right here is priceless. So, you know, thank you. And then I would encourage people out there who is hearing this and that's following you, that to take action. You know, it's going to take volunteerism to get things really accomplished, because the only type of progress you're going to make is as a whole. So it's going to take all of us to really change anything. That's what's real, you know, because with unity, we're going to get forward. We're going to make that.
That's really dope. Thank you so much for the shout out. Everybody knows to check out the website, fromtheinsideout.com. That's from-theinside-out.com. All the interviews that happen on here eventually do get posted on there, and if not, then they are on our YouTube channel. The rest of this week will be full of interviews. I have interviews pretty much coming all week. So if y'all see me starting a live, jump on. It's going to be all different people, all different topics. We got some crazy stuff coming up. Right now, we also have the Poetry Slam Challenge going on, which is just a way for us to show some unity, because what we need to realize is that unity comes first, and if we can't do anything together, we definitely cannot make anything happen. So all the little rappers, poets, all y'all out there, drop a little video and hashtag prison reform, rehabilitation from the inside out, change for success, and we choose unity. The videos that we like or that get a lot of views or whatever the situation is will end up on the website. Also, I probably will do an update on mass mail out coming soon. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I haven't mentioned or brought up lately? And we are still finally changing from the inside out over to the nonprofit, so we can really like kickstart and start making things happen. So thank you again to my guest. I appreciate you, and we gonna end it.